for Lumpy, but again, the lane matchup's not the easiest in the world for Lumpy, so I'm keen on seeing how much they can get out here. We also do still stick to the Twisted Chakram for jabs, so he's not going for the splinters flying out, that additional damage, the slow to kind of set up. He is just looking for just like a mid to late game tempo coming in with the double chakrams coming out. See, Q already spotted out here.
It is Q. Oh, he's dead. Flame break away. He's trying his absolute best to get away, but the shrapnel, the slow is just too much control this early on, and moves of all people will be able to secure first blood on the Seer. A very nice start here for Beast Coast.
Yep. You can just see again how much they can just melt. I mean, early levels for Sniper is just ridiculous. Level 1 on Shrapnel with Scatter Shot is just an insane amount of damage. You really don't have play there for Q. Doesn't really manage to get to any vision whatsoever as well. So you're happy with a freebie. Onto a CM, maybe not ideal, but it's a little bit more regen in lane. Maybe a faster full wand, another sentry to help control the lane as well. And it can still set up for more.
Here we go. Pake. Still be sitting pretty forward, but he has the Sakuchi to be able to get away. Still, they will net up one. It is going to be the Sniper, of course, and well, Misho now might be set to fall, and does. So a bit of quick revenge here from the side of Aurora. More importantly, though, that kill does go the way of Loranov. So you give him a bit of a gold boost and a very early bottle by the looks of it.
And you do. Going to be a nice time here for Loranov. And again, his lane matchup is already something that you'd consider pretty damn good. Maybe not historically, as Monkey King could abuse the fact that Storm would have to walk up for the Static Remnant. You know, he would get twacked a couple of times. But now he can just stand back, play with Static Slide, clear out the creep wave just nice and fine. I'm curious to see how far Lumpy is willing to push this lane. He does have his quick level 2 and does go for the Jingu to threaten, but again, this should be fairly straightforward for Loranov. Rune control is going to be a big part here. Do have some interesting rotations that can come in from the supports of Aurora, and you also have just very strong potential as well from Beast Coast. So I'm wondering which one that favors, if they can leave these side lanes. And speaking of those side lanes, we can take a look at the ones here as well. Down bot, of course, you've got Savage on that Mirana, along with Ollie on the Naga up against Vitali on the Kunkka and El Misho on that support Sniper. This lane is, it can be a very high kill lane for Aurora, as we talked about in draft. And there's an option for Arrow with net set up. There's a lot of damage that can come in. You tend to max out the Store Storms. You can isolate one and bring them down very quick. You can gap close onto El Misho in the back quite nicely here as well. For Vitali, it's going to be maybe a little bit slower. He's going to have to play around with the Tidebringer, of course. But reaching into Twack Savage is not going to be the easiest thing to find here.
Lumpy mid lane. He does get a Jingu Mastery proc. Looks like he was getting a little bit low on the HP department, but will be able to reset himself just a little bit now. Loranov, again, is having a pretty damn good time to get this game one started. Of course, we should have a look at that final side lane up at top lane, where Jabs is being attacked here by Moose and Pake. But he's going to be just fine to retreat. Seems like this might be the more boring lane out of all of them, but seems like for now Pake's having a pretty damn good time, and chances are they won't really be able to slow down the Weaver too much.
Not necessarily. This is going to be a relatively happy lane for Pake. Jabs can only do so much. He's forced to actually take the value point from reactive just to sustain true. There's not much Q can really do to pick on the backline either. Moose can, again, distance himself, get a slow off. So you can't really leverage too much in this lane. It's going to be probably the slower lane for Aurora. We're going to have to see if Jabs can work this one out. Already having to salve to recover here. Again, just straightforward. Frostbite and Shikuchi, nice and steady. Down bot, we're seeing some poke action coming out there as well. But not too much to really whittle away at anyone.
It's pretty hard against these position 4 snipers. Like, it doesn't really feel like that much damage, but it really does start to add up as you do go on throughout this laning stage. And we are seeing, again, top lane. Jabs, once again, in a lot of danger, trying to get that bug off him. He does eventually get there. Misses the Whirling Death, though, I believe, onto Moose. And Moose does eventually still go down, as now Q looking to clean up both of them. Will chase down Pake, but he had the 1 charges. And, of course, Q not willing to dive the tier 1 tower. Will leave him be. Bottom lane, though. Well, they got El Misho, but they'll lose Savage. Another poor trade for Aurora.
Something to be very happy about on the side of Beast Coast. finding these core kills first, getting the solo EXP for your cores to play off of, scaling up quite nicely in the EXP department for Vitaly and Peak overall. I'm going to be able to just, hit faster sixes, be a bigger threat, maybe even open up some gate potential with the higher EXP they'll have. The one lane that's going well, again, time and time again, is Lornoff's lane up against Monkey, but that is to be expected for the Storm into Monkey matchup. And that one, at the very least, might allow Lornoff to have the faster six and also start to look to rotate in the sides. But again, it's not something that the Monkey King's held back from. Like once Lumpy gets a value point from Tree Dance, he's going to be able to jump around no problem, redirect himself in a lane as well, and also just put the numbers up for Beast Coast. Overall, we're going to be very happy here on Beast Coast end. Even Q trying to dissuade and stop these pulls is something that Moose can just slowly poke away from, although they will be able to find a lot of these creeps here.
Top lane. They certainly do. We just find to get away there. Jab's still top of the CS board, even with that death, so he's still having a decent old time. Is now bottom lane. Someone who's not having a decent old time right now is Savage, being attacked once again. The X back into the torrent makes it very, very hard because you've just got so much follow-up damage with this support sniper. Just those shrapnels being constantly spammed out. And Savage at this point, like, he's just running out of regen. There's nothing left for him to sustain himself in this lane. He's just constantly having to buy out salves and have shared tangos provided to him.
Yeah, it's really burning into that economy here for the side of Aurora. Like, Ollie's going to have to play with a very slow game. You're not going to see a fast mech, fast Guardian Greaves here from Naga. He doesn't even go for the mirror image to try to run forward and get some free deluge. He does have to go for the end snare for that first blood earlier. And that just means, again, a little bit of slowdown. Already a bit of a deep movement here for Lornoff.
And Lumpy's going to give it a crack. A few swipes at the Storm Spirit. They've got moves around the corner with Frostbite ready, but I do not believe that'll be enough control to actually secure the life of Lornoff. In fact, now Q is rotating, but he was just stacking the triangle while he was at it. Moves, gonna be spotted, does find an Invis rune for himself, and that's actually the perfect rune to allow him to walk out of there without taking any real damage from Lornoff. And now Lornoff gonna be hunted by Elmisho and Lumpy, but they just do not have enough lockdown. Still, Moose is running in. Frostbite is out, but it's still not going to prove to be enough. He's fine.
It's going to leave Lornoff at a very awkward HP to sustain this lane, though, and it's going to give some room out again for the side of Beast Coast to do what they want. It looks like they're already looking to make a move up top and get the D ward, so this movement's very much telegraphed for Jabs. See if he stays around a little bit too long here. They don't even commit. Just in and out, back to mid, back to shoving in for Lumpy. And the stacks are tantalizing, but
when they did spot them out, like Beast Coast, they've got vision around the area now of that Radiant Triangle, so certainly looking to see if they can swipe those away later on. As now Vitaly trying to make sure Ollie does not get towards the Wisdom, and he won't make it in time anyway. So Ollie does a nice attempt to try and snag it away, but he will go down, and the kill does go the way of Lumpy.
Get the Wisdom rune nice and secure. No shenanigans coming in. At the very least, Q finds their own, so it's still a 1-for-1, but bonus kill for the Monkey King and allowing this faster build-up. He is going for the Atos as his control choice into Gleipnir, of course. You will have some additional ways of holding down the Storm, especially when you manage to, just catch him with the Atos from the tree line. Not a tough ask early on. Going to be a while until Lornoff gets something defensive here. A great start for Beast Coast once again. 3-4. Only the mid lane going well for Aurora. Only Lornoff really finding any semblance of farm. As it does look like it's going to be a little bit of a classic Aurora game, where they have a slower laning start. They're going to sit back. They're going to farm, play off these stacks, try to buy space. We'll see if Beast Coast allows them to play that game, because the one thing about that is if Aurora doesn't manage to get that safety net farm and it's just constant aggression once Beast Coast is set to go, the recovery process for this kind of lineup can be very, very slow. Like, Q and his blink timing is the one big thing for Aurora whenever they pick this Bat Rider up. And again, if these stacks are just still in the way, or again, if they don't have anyone with presence early on, you just remove that as a factor entirely, at least for a very fast time here.
Well, Mish is going to run into Ollie. Ollie does snag away the bounty. Meanwhile, Jabs and Q can just smoke themselves up and they'll just go ahead and take these stacks together. Don't wait any longer, just get rid of him. Jabs will happily take all that gold away for himself. With that, I mean, Beast Coast, they are trying to get in there and try to infiltrate just a little bit, but Jabs has already got all the stacks taken anyway. They're still going to try though. Lumpy does get caught by a cheeky ensnare from Ollie, and now the zip in from Lorenov going to make things a little bit more awkward as Lumpy getting caught with his pants down is gone. Moose, lasso out, will connect, so the CM is also set to go down as 23 Savage picks up a double kill. They'll look for a little bit more, but it looks like that's going to be about it. So not only do they clear out all the stacks themselves, but they get a double kill for Savage on top.
Yeah, nice and clean for Aurora. Beast Coast, again, they had information for a long time. It's just hard to imagine them trying to clear it out unless they commit like a lot of spells for it. They will get smoke opportunity out though. You know, solar flare is down. It's not going to be any big right-click turnaround. No lasso as well to be worried about here.
Vitali can try and move in onto Jabs. Does get the X off. Of course, the boat will fly in. Jabs will try to chain away, but doesn't quite get the timing perfect. Still, he is alive, but not for long. Q, though, pops the Firefly. Thought about trying to go in, but they decide better off. You know, even Lorenov TPing in just in case, but he couldn't quite get there in time.
No. We'll lose one. Not the biggest kill in the world to lose out. Again, at the very least, it's buying a lot of space for Savage to just play in his bot lane. There is some forward vision here from Beast Coast to kind of scout around if the Mirana does try to jump in and out of that lane. So there's some opportunities for Beast Coast down the line. And Beast Coast, for their part, they're already getting some activity out from Pake as well. Just with the Falcon Blade, going for the Dragon Lance, a little bit more reach. They're still playing in the triangle.
They're going to try Ollie, but he's still alive. In fact, Lorenov now jumping moves in the backside, does secure the CM. They'll get Ollie, but Lumpy in huge danger now with the tree cut. He'll get the Wukong's command off in time. Onto Jabs they'll go. Jabs dropping low, he'll drop on the Timberstorm. Meanwhile, Vitali, they'll try to focus down the Kunkka, but Lorenov, he's running out of mana. He needs to get out, but it's all too late. Pake will chase him down. Surely Lorenov's set to fall, but no. He actually gets away. The tree line proving to be enough security. Though the Boundless now from Lumpy landing onto Q will ensure they secure another kill. And a very nice team fight now for Beast Coast.
And it is. Again, they just force the issue on that triangle once more. They kill off a couple of important heroes. They drag Savage away from his safe farm down bot as well. He's forced to respond in. Throw some arrows, try to stall things out. And this is what we need to see from Beast Coast. Just constant aggression. They don't have the longest cooldowns in the world. They can't afford to just keep coming in with the advantage they have early on. Where it's Aurora that kind of needs to take a step back and try to build up. Because your Storm's not ready to fight. Lorenov, even with, say, the Witchblade, if that was up, it's still not going to be enough. He needs so much more. He needs maybe a Eul's if he's worried about control. Maybe just a straight-on Kaya for a little bit more mana and damage. But all of those options are still a ways off here from Aurora.
12-minute power rune is going to be at the bot spot. Arcane rune. Lorenov would have loved that, but Lumpy will be the one to take it. Beast Coast suddenly finding themselves in a 1k advantage situation. Now, Savage, in terms of farm as well on that Mirana, still pretty far behind. Everyone on Beast Coast, all cores are doing much better than this POS 1 Mirana thus far. And I think if you're Beast Coast, you're more than happy to just play the slow farm game here. You're not interested in forcing any awkward fights.
But to be fair, I don't think it's a massive advantage for Beast Coast by any means. Like, Savage's farm is what, 100 behind Vitali, maybe a little bit wider with Pake, but even then it's not really a full item, just a little bit faster to the components. So it's not a major advantage for Beast Coast. I think it's Aurora that actually, again, prefers the slower game. You're getting build up for your Storm, you're getting room to breed for your Mirana. And if Jabs dies, that's kind of fine. He's playing the Timbersaw, kind of wants the front line, get the attention first team, buy some space out. In Beast Coast, they are inching towards another bit of a movement down bot. They do get a good scan to spot out Savage here.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a big pick-off, but the thing is with the Mirana is she's a very slippery hero. It's not going to be too easy to catch her out. It looks like he will be able to back off anyway, so nothing really to come out of that rotation. Still 6-8 now. Again, very slight net worth lead Beast Coast sway. Smoked up as 3. They'll rotate into the mid lane. Lumpy's going to spot out Lorinov. Rod of Atos is there to lock him down, but Lorinov still looking safe for now, but oh, maybe not for long. They chain everything very nicely, and Ollie just did not get the song off in time to save. And Lorinov ends up dying as now Ollie copying a fair bit of damage from a shrapnel to boot, but looks like he's going to be alright.
They really wanted to use that Atos on Savage, but they find the next best target in Lorinov. Like, again, slowing down the storm, preventing that buildup. He's just rushing a BKB after the Switchblade. He knows that if he gets clipped by the monkey from outside vision, he's just done for. He's got the follow-up. The Frostbite just gives him that setup. Oh.
They've got a very nice kill, though. Arrow gonna land thanks to the Yule Scepter of Jabs, and Paik will lose his life. Mind you, they did have to commit the lasso just to ensure he didn't get the time-lapse off, but nonetheless, a very strong kill here from Aurora.
That's worthwhile. You needed to put a break on something from Beast Coast. You get a little bit of equalization there for Savage. You get a little bit more out for Jabs as well to scale into that Kaya. Does have the Yules up to help save himself as well, or try to isolate the hero for buy time for his team still.
Mid lane.
Just poking.
Just sending a message here as Beast Coast. They are looking like the stronger team right now if you consider 5v5, but we haven't really seen one of those huge fights quite yet. And Vitality's almost just inviting them in here in the mid lane, but obviously Aurora more than happy to just avoid them for now. Bottom.
You're gonna like this one.
Lorinov. What's that, John?
And we've got the Ags buildup for Vitali. He is going for the cannonballs.
Do we really?
He's going for the cannonballs.
All right.
Let's go.
Here we go.
It's a good amount of damage. It's, well, not, it's some damage, all right? It's something.
Okay.
It's weird.
BKBs give some damage too, John, but none of my carries want to buy it in my pubs. You know, I'm not sure if it's Vitaly. I mean, we'll see. This Aghanim Sept, I don't know about it. I want to see it work. I'm a believer, John. I want to believe. Let me believe.
I mean, you can get damage multiple times from the cannonballs if you aren't just stuck and you get hit by the volleys. By 2 ships, 3 shots, it's a decent chunk of damage. It's no water park for sure, but it's something.
It sure is. We'll see how it works out. I mean, it seems like Beast Coast now. They'll take over the Radiant Triangle. The Jabs, he's hanging around the area, but obviously does not want to venture in there right now. So Beast Coast taking the more vital parts of the map. Aurora kind of forced to just farm that bottom right side of the map at the moment, and Beast Coast, they are slowly making their way over, now running right into Ollie. So Ollie gonna tank the gank here for 23 Savage. Gets the song off. X-Back is there. Ollie's still running, but he is gonna be hunted here by Lumpy, though they are not willing to dive T2 towers. Back to the mid lane we go.
It's a pretty big tool to take away from Aurora. Looks like they do need a song to disengage. It's going to be down for 2 minutes 40 seconds. It's a lot of time for Beast Coast to actually still keep playing aggressive. Like, they can still hug the spot jungle. They're getting pinks out on mid. They're keeping it constantly shoved in. The only lane that's free is top, and that's Jabs taking off the safe farm. So you don't really feel too safe on Aurora if that commitment does come in from Beast Coast. Like, you will have to be a little bit more cautious while Song is down.
Well, Beast Coast trying to pressure Jabs out of the top lane, and they will do so successfully. Jabs will retreat. This is still a lot of space for Aurora, though, in fairness. Like, Beast Coast, they've spent the last few minutes just chasing down Aurora, and they haven't really found too much out of it. It is buying plenty of time for Savage and Lorinov now to get the space they required, though as I say that, Ollie getting jumped by Omisha, but Lorinov will happily take an easy sniper kill. As Ollie still running. In fact, now the turnaround, 23 Savage jumping in onto Lumpy, and they've got him. The patience from Aurora, it does end up paying off as they will secure a double kill here for Lorinov. Are they thinking about Roshan? Surely not. And they won't. They'll smoke up again. Back towards the Dire Triangle they'll go. If they can find this Weaver, Aurora will be very happy, but Moose is in the way and he will break the smoke. They'll take the CM, but Q, he's looking around. He wants the lasso. Lorinov, he's out of mana. He'll get a bit more. The Vortex, it will land, but the lasso, it's not within range for Q. He can't quite get there, and now Lorinov, he's in the middle of nowhere, but he's still got mana to play with. He'll zip his way out on TP, but the Boundless Strike from Lumpy, it'll land just in the nick of time. They'll find Lorinov. Can they get more? Beast Coast, they're desperately chasing. They find Savage. He's got no leap charges. He needs a few seconds for it, but he's topping way too much damage. Savage still alive, leaps away, but he's down. Still, they'll find Lumpy as a trade. Vitaly now in danger to boot. Jabs got the control. Pake's dropping low to boot. Jabs, can he actually chase him down? I think the answer might be no. Jabs, he'll need to run now as Moose will pop the freezing field. Jabs will be alright to back his way out. Who did that fight even favor?
I think overall, it still somewhat favors Aurora, and all of that broke down because of that movement up top. You mentioned it was spotted out by the sneaky river ward on the cliff, not dewarded by any of these sentries down from Beast Coast, so that allows Aurora to make that move down bot to get the isolation out. Their issue was the re-engage. And that deep chase to try to chase down Pake does cost them a fair bit. You lose your two big cores, and that is a pretty big sacrifice to make. They also forced that fight without Solar Flare that time around. They used it earlier to kill off Lumpy the first time. So, didn't quite have all their tools under their disposal here for Aurora. But it still brings them ahead. They were playing from a slightly behind position before that. Now they are up and about. Really good timing for Jabs to engage as well with the full Kaya up. The burst damage on the Thermosaw is online. And he does have the durability with the levels. Level 3 reactive armor's up. They've got the Pavis up as well from Q to provide even more. And it has been more than enough to just save and allow Jabs to go a little bit ham in the middle of these engagements. But aside of Beast Coast, we do have to be a bit cautious. They have been doing really well as a unit, but Aurora has some sneaky wards. They've got the ward watching right in front of the tier 1 top. Again, that river ward that enabled their movement across. They're going to go for another play with a smoke here. Without the tier 1, they could sneak into the far right side here.
Here we go. And Beast Coast, they're trying for the Tormentor right now. This could be very awkward timing. So Aurora, they are moving in at the perfect time. Misho already dropping quite low. We'll see if they can jump in. Pake, he's quite low himself. He's Sakuching right towards their side as well. They've dropped the sentry and they've got the lasso. Pake is gone. So is Moose. The perfect timing from Aurora. And the perfect target. They couldn't have asked for more.
Yep. Get the big kill they were looking for when they originally make that triangle rotation. One big piece of news for Beast Coast, though. The Ghost Fleet is up. The Ags is here. The cannons are set to go.
Oh, boy. Well, here we go. I can't wait. Show me something, Vitaly. Is it going to be good, John? Predict, yes or no? Is it going to work?
It'll be so-so. It's not the worst Ags in the game, but also doesn't feel amazing.
I literally said yes or no.
Yes, yes, question mark. I don't think it's like outright bad. It's certainly worse than Water Park, but it is quite a fair bit of damage. I can't do maths though, but 40% of 500 times 3 shots over 2 ships sounds like a good amount of damage. Not amazing, but good.
Okay. Water Park was amazing. Let's not, you can't. There's no two ways about that.
Oh yeah.
There was no way to balance that spell. We knew it the first time we saw it too. There was just no way.
It's so funny. I feel like that's the one time that the community can say that their outcries were heard by Valve because they took away the Water Park, and then they changed Sand King Ags as well to remove the random stun element. Right,
Sand King didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve that. Because Sand King's been out of the meta for how many years?
Oh, dude.
Like, we've seen Conquer for like the last 10 years. Oh, what is it, John?
The stingers are actually quite painful. It's weird, but it's painful as they smoke up here.
Here we go. Moose, he's going to break the smoke. So this will be a nice smoke break here from the CM. Beast Coast, they won't mind too much, but they might lose a bit more. El Misho now also being scouted out by the mirror images. Does get caught and does get taken down. Another double kill this time towards Jabs.
Aurora get to widen their lead up to 4K. They're getting some free galvanized stacks for Lorinoff, stacking up some square steel in the process. There's a new apartment in New York. Inside of I have to say I think I got way too used to that joke from when I was doing community casts, so I do apologize. I just kind of went on autopilot.
I was gonna say, you literally make the galvanized steel joke every time we cast. Every single time. And I'm just like, when is this gonna get old for this guy?
No, it never gets old. You know me, Mike, I listened to the BitConnect remix from 2016 on loop. So they take the Roshan secondary life for Lorinoff. I really do. I have problems, Mike. You know this.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, the sad part is the joke wasn't funny the first time either, John. You know, the galvanized steel thing, you know, I appreciate where you were going, John, but it wasn't that funny as Moose. Moose gets caught. Moose is down. I'm sorry, John. I know you like galvanized steel, but, you know.
It's not that funny. I know it's not funny. That's why I make the joke. Because it's not. What, you think we're running a comedy club, Michael Phoenix? You want some actual humor? Watch a YouTube video. This is Dota 2.
Mid lane, oh, sorry, top lane. Q. Oh, that's a nice lasso. That is a nice lasso. He's caught Lumpy, but the balance doesn't allow him to get away. The cannons, here we go. Look at him, John. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. That was incredible. El Misha. El Misha running circles, hoping for the oh, never mind. They've got him.
4,200 gold for that, huh? It's something.
Incredible purchase. It's an incredible investment here from Vitali. You don't get much better than that, John.
I mean, it's quite the show. You know, it's quite the show. It's a good show. You know, it's like, hey, look at that. The ships are out.
400 damage. It did 400, and I'm not sure if the boat landed on anyone, John.
Look,
you know?
look.
Might have been impact damage.
Mike, this is the patch where we get Ringmaster, a showman. What's more showman-y than launching a bunch of ships that don't really do much?
That's fair.
It's all about showmanship.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I thought you were going to make some clown joke here, John, but I appreciate you went the other way.
I was thinking very hard to make a clown joke without going for the low-hanging fruit, but I couldn't think of anything, so there you go. It's not a comedy club, Mike.
No.
Get your head together.
This isn't a galvanized steel factory, John. Though I will take you to one day. If you do come to Australia, we'll take you to the steel factory.
I'd be keen on seeing it. Yeah, why not? Sounds fun to me. I like machinery. Like Timber Saw. You know, Jabs is a machinery person as well.
I suppose he is. Top lane. Oh, in fact, hold that thought, because Lorinoff, he's jumped in. Oh, Misho. He's going to get caught. And Lorinoff having a decent time so far, but maybe he's gone too far as he does get caught. That's the Aegis, but here comes the cavalry. Q, unable to break the gap to get a lasso. So nothing really comes out of this apart from losing the Aegis for Aurora.
And it had a decent amount left in it. About 2 minutes before it popped, so a little bit of an early pop for Aurora, but they do get room to shove in anyhow. They see all of Beast Coast retreating. They've got room to just poke at a tier 2, force out the early fort, line up for top as well, coming the creep wave, and that should still amount to pretty much most of the map under Aurora's control. Despite that, maintaining that 10k lead, you've got Jabs again scaling up quite fast here with the Ags, very hard to burst down with that constant shield coming up from the reactive armor. Active, going into his own Shivas. You've got all the room in the world for Savage. Full Mjolnir up. Doesn't need to go Gleipnir. Doesn't need to hold the team, although.
Lorinoff forced to pop the BKB, but he'll go right towards Moose now on the CM, finding a very easy pick off as the ghost ship flies in.
Okay. Nice.
What was nice about it, John?
It looks cool. What do you mean?
It did 142 damage to the Monkey King. They go. Lumpy's down. Vitali's in trouble. He'll be able to spend his time thinking about all the cannonballs he's been throwing out this game, John. That was 142 damage he did with that last ghost ship.
No, I get it, Vitali. I feel for the guy. You know, I too am a pirate ship game enjoyer. I would like myself a new Pirates game. Like legitimately the 1990s game, Pirates. Sid Meier's Pirates. Great game. Unfortunately, that's not what you're playing right now, Vitaly. You are in a Pro Dota 2 match, so your ghost ship fleet is really not achieving much. I was trying to say maybe it scales. I do not see any way it scales, so never mind. It's a good show. It reapplies Rumbuff, 2 boats. That's something, I guess.
I suppose it is, Jack.
It's kind of sad thinking about it in terms of like control. If you're looking for the control aspect in 2 ships, a Gleipnir is cheaper and probably does better in comparison.
Absolutely. No false hope either, John.
You were asking for it. You got to see it.
I wanted to believe, John. I really did. That's no word of a lie. I really wanted to believe it was good.
Why don't they make it so that the ships, instead of launching cannonballs, fires a random Dagon at someone? Well, it sails out. Like 3 Dagon shots, or 2 Dagon shots. Let's balance it. Bam, bam. Then another ship. Bam, bam. You know? That sounds good.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. It's not I'm sure, John. Jabs? Well, they're just controlling the map right now, Aurora. They're 14k ahead, John. Pretty dominant game thus far here from Aurora, as a lasso has been committed, and they found Pake with that lasso. Perfect setup here from Q. There's the thing, like, they're running this distraction play up top lane where everyone's just farming the creep wave, but you forget the 23 Savage and Q were just casually sitting around bot, as Lumpy is in trouble. He'll try to TP away. And sadly for Lumpy, he popped the Primal Spring just as he noticed Jabs was there.
Yeah, it's another great set of pickoffs for Aurora, just working across the map. Beast Coast are at least holding them back from high ground. Not that I think Aurora is going to make that move anytime soon without the Aegis protection. Or keeping that control on the map. You're scaling insanely well now on Savage. Chrysalis into the Daedalus. Has all the attack speed in the world. Hits like an absolute unit, this core Marana. And inside of Beast Coast, they lost some of that tempo. Again, they did really well in the early to mid game. They kind of give out a couple of pickoffs, and Aurora just farm up. Again, they use this space really well. This is Aurora we're talking about. They are very used to playing sacrificial game to get some of their cores online. And we're at that point where everyone is. There's another lasso.
Another great lasso from Q. And this is when the game starts to feel really, really, really ugly if you are Beast Coast. Because Q's just finding this Weaver every single time. He's nowhere near picking up the Lincolns yet. The BKB means nothing. And Aurora, they are just in complete control of this game 1. 22k advantage now. And you know Aurora, they'll play safe as well. They're not going to just go for 3. They'll play conservative.
That they will. They'll play... They'll err to the side of safety. They'll take a safe tier 3 into the racks. Maybe not looking for the secondaries here. Roshan in a few seconds. We'll see that respawn timer. No real need to go all in, but they don't really have that much to be scared of either. Doesn't feel like the team fights are really set up. No BKB yet on Lumpy. We do have the BKB and Vitaly, so at least they zip.
Lauren feeling very confident now. It's just zipping right into the tier 4 towers. We'll find the El Misho. That'll open up the second lane of barracks for him. I mean, Pake is up in 5 seconds, but like the thing is, as long as Q is around, you're just never going to feel safe without that Lincoln Sphere. And they found another. Moose, he's good. He just dies to the Witch's Blade. Nothing he could have done. They might go for the third barracks. I might have jinxed it here, John.
I mean, that's good. Thank you, Mike, for speeding up Aurora's gameplay. Anyway, we are very used to Aurora, playing safe. They are breaking the mold. 32 minutes is a fast game for Aurora. They will go on to another tier 3. The side of Beast Coast, again, options are limited. They've got to line up this X-Mark combination with Wukong's on top, get everyone on run buff. Tree cut as well. Lumpy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, they got him. They got him. It's not fun playing Monkey King against Timbersaw, especially when he has the Twisted Chakram on top. And there goes your top racks. I mean, this will definitely be Megas, as now they've even found out the sniper. Lorinov, he knows there's nothing to worry about. Here comes the boat fleet that does literally nothing. And there we go. Mega creeps on the way. Vitali, he'll try to drag them back with the tidal wave, but Aurora, they'll happily jump in themselves instead. Lasso is out, they caught the Kunkka with that one, and Vitality is set to fall as they do at least get Savage, but they've called GG. Game's over. Game 1 does go the way of Aurora in pretty convincing fashion, I want to say.
That it does. Maybe a little bit slower to start here for the side of Aurora, the side of beastcoast.